So hello guys, welcome to my life. And you can see the question already in the screen. Question is poverty the main reason for crime? Is poverty? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. Is poverty the main reason for crime? Well, I asked this because a lot of the times we have seen in situations where people make give this as an excuse when they are caught doing something. The excuse you hear is that I did it because I was hungry. I did it because I wanted to take care of my family. I did it because I was broke. You start hearing excuses. I did it. You start hearing all sort of excuses. So over time, it has looked as if the high rates of crime is proportional to the high rate of poverty. So I am not here to oppose or dispute it. That's not what I'm here to do. I just I just want us to see it in different ways. Okay, let me tell you a particular incident that happened. Some years back, there's this lady I used to know. She came from her family was pretty not so comfortable. So she was the first child, like the first daughter in that family. So the pressure of how broke her parents were started drowning on her when she became like a teenager. So as of the time when she was already um 2021, she had already started it had already drowned on her that my family was so broke. My family is so broke. She had already had that gotten that mindset that her family is so broke. So because of that, let me take off this question. Okay, so you will see my background. So like I said, she had already had that mindset that her family was so broke as of when she was growing up. So while she was already 21, 22, it had already drawn on her that okay, my family is so broke. So what she did next was that she started looking for all means to make money. When I mean all means without exception. She did menial jobs. She did menial jobs. She worked in all sort of places. But the truth is that she was at the time she started looking as if she was like the breadwinner in that family. Now initially things used to happen. She never used to look at it. But now that she's grown up, her parents being broke started embarrassing her. She started feeling, you know, embarrassed that her family was broke. So because of that, she started doing all kind of things. And the menial job that she was doing wasn't sustaining the family. So what she does is that she started meeting some friends, and some friends started telling her that, "More this thing that you're doing, how long will you do this? And how long is this the same thing that you want to do to pay your parents' rent? Is this the same thing you want to do to cater for your young? She had younger ones, so is it this thing you want to do to cater for your younger ones and all of that?" Now, as of this time now, she was let's say she was heading to 25 thereabouts. So now, and that was how these friends started putting her to things that you she wouldn't have done normally. First of all, she started living kind of life, started going out to clubs and having parties, meeting men, like more like what do they call it? More like hookup. Started doing more like hookup. The money was coming from the hookup, but now her family also knew that she was seeing little money at this time now. So them too now started increasing the demand they were asking of her. Initially, maybe her demand was to give her parents maybe 50K a month. Then they started doing things. They said, okay, please, oh, let's do this one. Her siblings was there too. So the truth is that even with the hookup, the money wasn't coming enough. The money was not coming enough with that hookup. So she started meeting. The more she was going to these places, the more she was meeting more people that could that were advising her. And she was seeing the life these people were living. Now something happened. Something happened. Why this lady was doing all this? Something happened. She met a particular man. That man that she met was, but by this time now, by this time I would say she was almost way gone. She met this particular man. This man was giving her money, taking care of her. But the point is that the money she needed, the amount of money she needed, this man was not giving her. According to the story we heard back then, the man was just giving her just enough money to cater for her and cater for her family plus whatever hookup she was doing. So, and this man was rich enough to do things for her according to the way the story went. The man was rich enough, but then the man wasn't giving her enough. So that was how somehow, somehow, this girl met some people that advised her that okay, this your man, he has money. The man was a married man. He has money, but he's not giving you enough. Okay, what about if we somehow find a way of extorting this man? So that was how she collected advice from her friends. They planned they gave her ideas of how she would extort the man and all of that. Okay. Now, what the plan that they had is that they would have to kind of lie to the man. She would go and visit the man wherever she goes to visit the man, maybe in a hotel. Then she would okay, actually the man's family was not in Nigeria. So normally she goes to the man's house to visit the man. So now she would go to visit the man. When she goes to visit the man, she would bring up something that would make the man give her a bigger sum of money. And somehow, when she went to meet the man she told she carried on the way they planned. She went to meet this man. The man She asked the man for money. But the problem now is that the man was not he wasn't giving her that he wasn't responding to her the way she anticipated. Even with all the lies she told the man, she lied to the man and blah 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 blah. But the man still was not respond. So at the point now she got irritated. Now remember this thing she was doing now. People advised her to do what she was doing. So that was how she carried phone and called her friends. Say, okay, see, this papa is not giving me the amount that the thing that we planned. I think she asked for millions of naira. And that money she was supposed to like collect that money and kind of according to what she explained, that the idea of she asking for that money was to take off her father from poverty. More like she wanted to buy a land, wanted to build a house for her father because her parents were presently paying rent and she was the one actually paying the rent. So she wanted to buy a land for her dad. Her dad was kind of pressuring her that okay, we need the land. And that land, they had a good deal as of that period. They had a good deal. And there was no other way this girl would have raised that money from that man. So like I was saying now, when she was in the house with the man, she now told the man, okay, that oh see that she already started telling him, hinting the man that okay, I would need this sum of money, blah blah blah. The man didn't say anything. So in her mind was like, okay, when we eventually see, I would convince him and all of that. So when they eventually saw that day now, she still told the man that okay, I need this sum of money. Oh, yeri yeri. The man wasn't coming forth. The man never told her. The man refused. If I'm to use that word, the man said no. The man was telling her that he never need that money, that she didn't have the money to pay. But prior to their discussion, the man had already told her some plans that he wanted to do with money. And so the girl was wondering, like, this man that you've told me you want to do this, you want to do that, but this money I'm asking you is not even up to the money you want to use to do something, do this thing. The man was still insisting that he never had that money. So out of frustration, She went to the bedroom, called her friends and told them now more presently with this man. Oh, but the man is not giving me the money I want. He's not even buying the idea at all at all. The friends now told me, okay, you know what then? Just just um give him drinks. People should drink, buy drinks. And that was how they bought. She went back, bought drinks, gave the man drinks, gave the man some substance. She and the man got high. She called her friend again that okay, see you. I think he's high. Oh, this. They said okay, come out. She went out. They gave her something that she packed and she put in the man drink. Now, as of when she put this thing, already when she gave that, when they were drinking, the man was a little bit drunk. So when her friends told her that come out, she went out. They gave her something. She put in the man's drink. Now, now, she has put that in. Hello, hi, Ifusa Bakene. How you doing? How you doing? Am I pronouncing it well? Afusat Bakene. How you doing? So let me proceed. Let me continue what I was saying. So they gave her something she's put on the man's drink. Then they told her that okay, now that you've put this in, now this as of this time now this the man was now unconscious. The thing is that according to this to where she was narrating, as in, she didn't even have idea how far these people the advices they were giving to her. She never even had idea how far these her friends wanted to take this thing to. So now they put now this man was kind of unconscious. Then her friends she called the friends and told them, okay, this is where I am now. The man is unconscious. They said, okay, hold on, we are coming. And that was how they came. Two of her friends, one guy and one girl. And that was how they came. When they came to the house, now this man was, like I said, unconscious. They collected his phone, tried doing the password and all of that. I don't know, probably why she was talking with the man, she was supposed to have checked the password to know if she she had supposed to have crammed the man passport. But for some reason, I don't know if that one she didn't do it well. So when she was unconscious now, they came and they started pressing the man's phone while the man was unconscious. The man was not they couldn't. So that was how they had to wake the man because now they need they really needed that money. And at this stage now they had already gone too far for them not they had already gone too far for them not to um finish up what they planned doing. So they started waking up the man, pouring the man water and all of that, what things to make the man now okay, to kind of make revive him. When the man came up a little, started asking him now, okay, now we will need your password. We will need your password. There were three. Like I told you, she, her friend, and another male friend. Kaki 11 times 4. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? Okay, there were three now at this point. She they started when the man revived a little, they started telling the man that they needed the man's pin. They needed his pin. The man said he doesn't do the whole pin thing, that his money is that what he has is an ATM. You say, oh, really? Okay, that's that was how they tied him. They not tied him. They tied him so high. Hi, who are you? Hi, you, who are you? You, who are you? You tell me, who are you? How are you doing? So by this time now they had already tied the man. The man gave them his ATM. They went to the ATM stand. There's not this is what I'm telling you. As of then, there was no POS like what they have now. Then it was ATM stand. So they went to an ATM stand. The man was still tied. The girl was with the man. The girl was with the man. They went to an ATM stand. The man gave them his pin. Hey you, what's the topic of the what are you talking about? Okay. Let me show you. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you know, is poverty the main reason for crimes? That's what we are talking about today. Have you seen it? So they went to an ATM. They went, like I said now, they went to an ATM. The man, the man gave them his pin. Why they were the point is that why she and some other person went to the ATM. Someone else was with the man. Now the problem now was that the man's life, if I'm to use that word, man's life was not so far. Probably that man had issues. That man had maybe he had an ailment already, or he already had a complication that they didn't know. Hi, Tila, Tio Life. How you doing? Let me take off the screen. Okay. So, like I was saying, why whoever what that she said she wasn't the one that was with that was there. Good, thank you. How are you doing? So she went with the ATM. She and her friend, a female friend, went to the ATM. Why her male friend was the one that was with the man there? For some reason, this man, when they withdrew the money, the man gave them their pin. When they withdrew their money, for some reason they didn't untie this man. Remember, I told you that they've already given him some substance. So this man was even the man was so weak. So when they withdrew the money, they left. They left the man there, like the way he was still tied. They left him. Even this his so-called sugar baby did not did not untie him. She didn't come back because in her mind she knew that she had done something and she needed to run far away from the man. What she didn't do was to come back and say, okay, let's untie this man because they tied him so hard, according to what we heard. This thing is happening in this man's house. And this man was weak, remember? So when they left, the man was still tied. The thing from the story that we heard, this man ended up struggling. We didn't know, we don't know how much, we don't know if it's what he took before then, or if he was tied in a way that probably he suffocated or something. But the point is that this man ended up losing his life. This man, this man ended up losing his life. And that was how this what this that this was like the beginning and the beginning of an end to this lady, because of course this thing was happening in this man's house. It was happening in his house. So of course she did not anticipate for it to be that bad. So she did not hide when she was entering the house. Do you get? She did not hide. People saw her entering the house and all of that. So people knew that okay, this man was with this his girlfriend. And come to think of it, that was not the first time she was going to that house. So in other words, looking for this girl was not even so difficult. It was not difficult. They caught her. As I'm talking to you now, that girl is in prison. That girl is still in jail. She's I think this thing happened, I think when 2000 2016, 215 to 16, I guess so. That was when this thing happened. As I'm talking to you now, that case is still that girl is presently in jail. This one I'm talking about someone me I know. So now the punchline is that she being in jail now, she cannot help her family. Remember, I told you that her parents were so broke. And why she even started this whole thing in the first place, because she felt that she needed her parents needed help, that she wanted to help her family. Now, she being in prison now, she cannot help her family. She cannot help her. She cannot. Of course, she did not buy that land for her father. The land that made her do that in the first place. I don't know. I'm not sure she did because, of course, now someone is dead and she should be on the run. And if you're on the run, you would need money. So the money she got from that man, the money they withdrew and she got from the man, of course, she didn't use it to buy the land. So in other words, she did not buy the land for her family. presently now, her life is, should I say, caught. Caught. As of that time now, she was 20 something. So let's say her life was just beginning there. So now, as I'm talking to you now, she's in jail. So her life is cut. So now that is why we keep asking the questions like when people keep saying that some people do things because of, when people say I did it because of my family needed the money. I did it because um I was so broke. I wanted to pay my rent. I wanted to do all of that. Now there's something that happens. You see them that once they do that thing. So, guys, if you're watching me, please kindly click that subscribe button. Please help your girl grow. Click the subscribe button. Thank you very much. So now, like I was saying, now there's something we see playing, and it plays every single day. Like most times, you see people start a particular thing, a particular crime, as a result of poverty per se. But the problem is that when when they get out of poverty, when they get out of that poverty, they do not stop it. They do not stop it. You see someone doing a particular thing, and deep down, he or she knows that that thing is bad. She knows her conscience, his or her conscience tells her that okay, I do this thing, tells him that I do this thing. Deep down, that person knows that whatever he or she is doing, that this thing is bad. And you see that person telling himself that okay, when I get money, I'm going to stop. When I have money, I'm going to stop doing it. You see people telling themselves those things. But the problem is that they don't stop. They end up not stopping. They end up not stopping that thing. They end up doing that thing till probably they get caught up with that thing, or maybe they end up in jail. So personally, crime, a lot of people, yes, of course, where there is lack, where there is lack, then you tend to see a high rate of crime. Where people do not have, you tend to see a high rate of crime. But is that the reason why there's so much high crimes in, is poverty the really reason? No, per se. But I know that when there's crime, there tends to be, when there's lack rather, there tends to be crime. You see people doing a lot of things just to survive. Things you knew, those people know that they would not have done naturally on their own. And because of there's so much lack now, there's so much, you see them doing that. Now, there's something again I also thought. Now, most times now, you see that people always want to make the excuse that okay, if I had not done it, because the truth is that most people do these things and get away with it. They do it and get away with it. If I had not done it, how would I have catered for my family? These people making that kind of excuse. If I don't do it, how will I cater for my family? How will I do this? Now, there's this very popular one people do now. You see this one that they unalive people, all in the name of making money, ritual per se. That one is like the funniest one I hear people do. That's like the funniest set of this thing I hear people do. I see people I hear because I've never seen. I hear people do. How much will you make? How much money will you make from ritual? How much money do you think you would make? How much money do you think you would make? I think, as a matter of fact, I wish people were even these people that were doing this are even bold enough to come out and talk about it sincerely. Because how much money do you think you would make from ritual? How much money do you think you would make? Because now, is it like you're making money? Someone is inside of the house vomiting money for you. That's one point. Do you think that there's someone inside of the house now vomiting money inside of you for you? Or the point is that whatever you're doing, and you're doing this whole this thing that you'll be very good at it. Is that the case? If that is the case, that means you don't even need to soil your hands in any way to achieve that growth, achieve that progress. You do not need to soil your hands. Personally, that is my opinion. I think I've created a life where I talked about this thing detailedly. Like, you don't need to. You don't need to soil your hand like on your own to achieve that. How much money do you think you would make? Now you know why I'm saying this. I've there's a guy, there's a child a young boy that I knew. He said something. He works where close to where I have a business. So he was saying that he was a very hardworking guy, obviously. He was helping his oga. But there was something he keeps saying. There was something he kept saying that his oga's business was doing pretty good. But he kept saying something like, if only the oga would do what his mates were doing, if only his oga would do what his mates were doing. At the point when he was saying that, I thought he was just saying, okay, if only your maybe what was his oga's mates doing. At the point, I felt he meant that, okay, that if probably his oga would put more money into the business, or if only his oga would kind of rearrange his shop and all of that. But when when he kept when he kept saying it, when he kept hammering of if only his oga would do it, because he was saying it over and over again, I had to ask him, please, that please, what is the thing that your guy is doing that? What is the thing that other people are doing that your guy is not doing? And that was when he told me that his oga has refused to soil his hands like his mates were doing. That and that is why the oga's business is where it is. It's baffling because to me, I was marveled at this guy was a pretty young guy. So for him to even have this mindset, you see that that person is most likely to be caught up doing what he's not supposed to do. Do you understand? Now, personally, I did not think his oga needed to soil his hand per se to be kind of successful for the business. I was looking at the oga's shop and I knew the lapses that the oga was having. I was looking at his shop. I was seeing those things that empirically, empirically, I was seeing those things his oga that was supposed to do that his oga was not doing. So for him to come now, if only his oga needed, if only the oga had agreed to Sawyer, it was baffling to me. Like, guy, okay, you're not even looking at the this one or two that your guy is supposed to do. You're not looking at the way your guy needs to rearrange his shop. You're not looking at that one. What you're looking at is you want your guy to go and do something spiritual. You need your guy to do something out of the ordinary. This is your guy here. Your guy will be and this thing, things are expensive. Your guy's business shop is not really looking very fine as compared to his colleagues. But the only thing you could think of is for your oga to do what his mate is doing is by soiling his hand. Guys, please, I'm coming just for a moment. Just hold on. I'll drop this while I come. Let's get back to Okay, guys, it's getting dark here. I don't know. I don't think I don't know if you're seeing my face. So I'm going to be ending this live now. So I'll fix up my lights. I'll come back live when I'm done. Okay. All right.